Very interesting stuff. Blocking public posts makes no sense. It needs to be depreciated for a stronger form of mute, which is a block, just so you know. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode on the channel and another episode of Canceled or Cringe. We've done these before, but I haven't given them a name, but I kind of want to give them a name now. I kind of want to call them Canceled or Cringe. It's where we look at events that happened recently and we decide if the person was actually canceled or if they were simply cringe, and that's why they got the hate that they got. It's something that I feel like not too many people actually talk about, but it's very important because a lot of people want to call somebody being cringe and being called out for it canceled, and sometimes some people were just canceled when the canceling itself was cringe, if you can even call it canceling. So let's talk about it. In a recent debacle that happened, in my community, the capital G, capital P, pro gamer community, where a large figure has recently been torn apart by the internet for saying something quite peculiar indeed. Let's figure it out. And we can start here. Now, has anybody heard of my guy, NICKMERCS? I'm not going to say my guy or friend of the stream because he's neither. I shouldn't say that. But anyways, NICKMERCS, all right? I've heard of him before. I haven't watched him. Some of these people who we're going to be talking about today, I've watched a little bit of, but I haven't really known too much of. NICKMERCS is well known for being a Call of Duty and FPS streamer gamer, okay? He's one of those streamers that you probably don't watch, who stream Call of Duty and who stream like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and PUBG. And that's the only 4 games that they play, and they just do that on repeat all day, every day for like 12 hours a day, and then collect Boku bucks, okay? He's one of those streamers. Very popular streamers, okay? And recently, my boy NICKMERCS, who was so popular in COD, in fact, that he actually got his own skin, got it removed, all right? So not only are they tanning his hide on the internet, but they're also removing his hide as well from COD. Why has his skin been removed? And why is there so much controversy going on? Let's take a little look at something really quick, okay? It appears that Activision has removed a NICKMERCS bundle from Warzone and the MW2 store this evening. Activision has not commented on why it has been removed, but it seems that it's been removed in the wake of NICKMERCS' recent comments about the LGBT+ community. Now, what has NICKMERCS possibly said about the League of Legends community that could possibly give everybody... Now, what has NICKMERCS said about the League of Legends community that has thrown everything into a tizzy and has had Call of Duty itself come out to say, due to recent events, we have removed his skin, Operator, and the bundle from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. We are focused on celebrating pride with our employees and our community. Yeah, listen... I will say there's not much to be proud of over at Activision, but because of, you know, some recent events, but I'll take it. I will take it. It's good. It's good enough. Okay. Skin removal percent speedrun. Listen, I knew he was a gamer, but I didn't know he was a speedrunner. Having really cool stuff taken from you due to your bad action speedrun, impossible difficulty. But he did it. He really did it. He really, really did it. So what did he do, actually? It seemed like it was this. Under this tweet that we're going to be reading later, FaZe NICKMERCS. Yes, he is actually from FaZe Clan. The FaZe Clan that's facing unprecedented bankruptcy and layoffs at the moment because they're not making any money. FaZe NICKMERCS tweeted, "They should leave little children alone. That's the real issue." Now, that's wild, isn't it? As you can see here, there's a brawl going on. Anti-LGBT protesters attacked pro-LGBT demonstrators outside of the Glendale, California school district meeting, right? The board was wondering if the board was voting on whether or not to recognize Pride Month again. And he said that recognizing Pride Month is attacking or little children or is something that you need to be called out for or beaten for, I guess. Because Pride Month is bad and it shouldn't be around kids or something, I guess. I don't know. Weird, right? Super weird. Heck social fascists. Some people say that. Some people say that. Anyways, moving on. This is incredibly interesting, right? Let's look into what, before we get into anything else that happened, we need to get into what actually happened here that makes me think that my bro Nick was not canceled, but is just simply, in fact, cringe. I feel like this is good enough to just say for your average human being to be like, oh yeah, cringe. But I want to prove how cringe it actually was. So let's get into it. Protesters brawl over LGBTQ curriculum outside of California school board meeting. I wouldn't even say that this headline is necessarily correct, that it's a curriculum. They were just recognizing Pride Month and seeing if they were going to talk about Pride Month even a little bit at school, to talk about how, you know, gay people shouldn't be killed, trans people exist, and how people different from you are okay to live and be around because they're just like you and me and don't deserve to be beaten in the street for loving somebody who you don't think that they should love. All right. As you can see here, the anti-LGBT protesters have really come out in force, or my bad, the pro anti-LGBT, the pro anti-grooming but pro anti-LGBT people here have showed up. As you can see, it's it is the Gravy Seals. It is Meal Team 6. You love to see it. The Stop Grooming Kid, incredibly cool. As you can see, they all also came with the same exact shirt on for some reason. For people who are supposed to just be, you know, concerned parents, it seemed they came pretty prepared for this this whole debacle. Is quite curious, is it not? Like 12 protesters. There's a little bit more than that. About 500 people showed up. More people there were normal human beings who were like, yeah, Pride is cool and kids should learn about it because we should grow children who don't hate minorities. But apparently for these people, that's a bridge too far. Anyways, a lot of people came out to say that there were Proud Boys here, okay? That there were Proud Boys here. Some of the people opposing the LGBTQ rights were identified on social media as members of the Proud Boys, a far-right group with a history of violence, all right? Glendale police said that they had not yet identified specific groups or individuals representing particular groups related to that protest. So let me do something that apparently the Glendale police cannot, which is to identify some people who are a part of the Proud Boys or other groups there that were very clearly causing violence, there for trouble, and doing horrible things. Since apparently the cops can't do their job, I'm going to do it for them. I love my taxes going to things that are useful. Thank you, police. Very interesting. Okay. This was written just after the brawl that happened at the school board meeting. Proud Boys targeting LA school area board meetings to provoke and assault during Pride Month. This is something that they like doing. It's something that they've been hyping up a lot. Proud Boys, One Percenters. We've been talking about another group, Patriot Front, and other like neo-Nazi cells around the country have been basically little traveling fascists. You've seen this before. If you keep up with these people, you'll know that you'll see a lot of faces that keep recurring. They're reoccurring characters here because they're people who are just driving from one end of the country to another, funded by Republican dark money groups and other anti-LGBT movements and people with money. Have been like pushing money back and forth to move people and fly people from one end of the country to another, to pretend that they have kids that go to school there, that they have people who are there, or that they're concerned parents or community members, when they're actually people there to hurt, maim, kill people who they don't like. And this time their new claim is that these people who were here were not actually Proud Boys at all. They weren't Proud Boys. Actually, you see, they were Armenians. As you can see, they're minorities. They're Armenians. Antifa in Glendale. The CA is learning hard that you don't mess with Armenians, especially not their kids. Ah, yes, everybody here was an Armenian. It's all the Glendale Armenians who came out to do this. It was all the Glendale minorities who came out to do, not those white people who you say do all of this. You know, it was all the Armenians, not the Proud Boys. They would never do something like that. They would never do something like that, especially like this guy. This guy's he's just a concerned Armenian.
The cop just said to go on the side. Sure. When it's a public sidewalk. It's a public sidewalk. Fucking hit me. It's a public sidewalk. This is an unlawful assembly. That's an unlawful assembly. Not right here. It's public sidewalk. Get back. It's public sidewalk. Get back.
Oh my god. So this guy, I didn't even hear that originally when I was looking at it. So this guy, all right, we'll talk about this guy in a little bit. My boy is named, this is a friend of the stream, Moon. This is Tony Moon, aka Rooftop Korean. Yes, that is his actual alias. I promise you I'm not making that up. He actually calls himself Rooftop Korean. But this is Tony Moon. We'll talk about him in a moment. Tony Moon is alive, unfortunately, but he is. Shitty as cope. He's like, he's just looking for a bathroom. He's like, he's gotta pee. He's gotta pee. That's it. That's the only thing. Come on. Now he's trying to get his boy to not get attacked by the police. It's curious. A little the back here, little hat. Very, very interesting Proud Boy colors, but you know, that's not 100% evidence that he's a Proud Boy. But one thing I want to talk about is not this guy, is not like this lizard lick towing character here. It's actually Tony Moon himself, because Tony Moon is another one of these reoccurring characters here, all right? Tony Moon is a well-known brawler and woman abuser. He's a well-known and serial woman assaulter. It's something he likes to do in his spare time. Here's him again assaulting 2 women, specifically back-to-back at the same event. Anti-vaxxer linked to Capitol riot, yanked mask off journalists, and swung his thermos at her during melee with Antifa members. So bro just started like attacking people, and he led the charge to attack journalists and Antifa in the anti-vaccine rally that he attended. And he just started swinging and beating women, specifically all of these guys and these Proud Boy guys, these like these like weirdo far right agitators. They all have a thing for hitting women. They really enjoy it, especially the ones who are a bit smaller than them. And just in case I have somebody out here who's like, you just claim that, oh, these people, oh, they're January 6ers, they're rioters, they're whatever. Listen, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me about what I think Moon is. Listen to him.
So I'm on the steps, taking the Capitol building, everywhere. Tear gas to stop us. Look at all the patriots under here.
Look at all the patriots. Yeah, so don't listen to me, brother. It's Moon himself who showed up. Like, well, let me move my camera a little bit just in case. Yeah, that's him. That's the guy. That is the same guy. Don't listen to me. He was there at January 6th, rioting. Yes, he was doing his thing, having a fun time. So these are the guys who are showing up at this thing that NICKMERCS says is perfectly fine, actually. There's more of this. Actually, this isn't the only one. There's way more of this. So let's keep moving forward a little bit, okay? So who else was there? Who else was there, okay? Because a lot of people who are on the ground in LA actually keep track of a lot of fascist and like far right movements and cells in California. There are a lot of them who come down from Canada. And this is a guy that they found, pop collar, like he's about to put a roofie in a you know what he looks like? He looks like the dad to a college kid fraternity who showed up with a pop collar and a pocket full of roofies to drop in the teenage girls' drinks when they're not paying attention. Bro is like past his prime. Anyways, so take a look at this.
Like you've been working out. I saw those videos of you shooting at the gun range. You're a good shot. You're a very good shot. All that military training.
This is how it started.
He's scared. Look at him. At first he was like, and then she was like, hey, I've seen you before. You're a really good shot, huh? He's like, oh, you know. So yes, there's a very curious man. There's a couple of them as well. So that guy, all right. There's also this guy as well. Keep track of this guy and this guy as well. There's a bunch of very interesting guys here.
And I challenge the you.
All right. These three stooges right here are very curious guys. These are reoccurring characters once again. And let's talk about them a little bit because they have a very sordid history. Very sordid history. All right. So one of the guys there, the guy with the Wolfenstein cut, the guy is Louis Florals, well-known Proud Boy and woman beater, as well as serial assaulter, who's been arrested several times for showing up and beating people and starting fights, as well as Andy Lai, who was another Capitol rioter and who also assaulted a journalist not too long ago. Sylvie Arijo is I think his name, who was also there. He is friends with Proud Boys and things along those guys. Travis Witcher, who was there, I believe that was the camera guy that we saw that was there, was also known for assaulting people as well, trespassing on people's property. And as we all remember, Tony Moon, the guy literally attacking women in his spare time. And Adam Kiefer was there as well. Another, just so you know, okay. Remember what the police said. Remember what the police said, that they weren't able to identify a single person a part of the Proud Boys. We have not yet been able to identify specific groups or individuals who represent or were participating in those groups. Thank you, police. You're really good at your job. Anyways, there's also Mike Anchita, who was there in a mask. The Antifa member. Remember when you sent a scout to Freedom Rally to scout us and beat us up? Cops had to save him. Somebody who's actively coming out to saying that he likes to beat the fuck out of people after an Antifa member sent a scouts. Sure, buddy. I bet that happened. As well as this guy as well, Chris Reyes, who was also at the rally that was there recently, starting fights, as you can see here with the possible white power symbol, or just okay symbol. Who knows what it is actually? Hang out with Proud Boys again, who was there at that rally. Remember, cops weren't able to find a single person yet who was a part of this rally. Not a single person yet. Not a single far righter. As well as there's some other people there as well. Not a single one. Not one. Well, that was a lie. Oh, well, that's a lie. Very curious, right? Very curious. As well as one of the people who were there, specifically Louis, decided to take it upon himself to spend time attacking more women or more people who are just smaller than him. Take a look at this. Very curious stuff. You see that? Spending times grabbing stuff, aggressively grabbing stuff off of people, and also punching somebody in the head. Let me see if I can find this. Yes, he's back. Nice one. Good job, buddy. Yep, he really protected the kids with that one. You see that? He really protected the kids with that one. Good job. Good job. Average Armenian. Yeah, Louis Florals, average Armenian, who's here to simply protect the kids. Yeah, I bet that's what's going on. Here's them once again hanging out with Proud Boys at the rally, and this, which is probably the most damning thing that I have. All right. It goes by Liberty Above All Else online, Louis Flores, and also Tony Moon here as well, aka Rooftop Korean, and Louis, who we know for a fact that was there, and we just saw punch somebody, likes to go by Proud Boy Lou. As you can see, once again, police weren't able to find a single guy who was a part of the Proud Boys there. Not one, literally not one guy. As you can see, him posting more Proud Boy stickers around California. Yep, very cool. Yep, there it is again. In 2021, Alex Jones was right in another Proud Boy sticker. Just incredibly curious. Once again, police weren't able to find a single person who was a part of Antifa there. Very interesting. And Alejandra actually had a really good thread about this. We're not going to be going through all of it, but she had a really great thread talking about the far-right extremists, showed a couple of sources for that. And obviously Andy No, who's never known real journalism in his entire life, decided to come out and to say that he's really angry that Alejandra decided to block him because he can't lie and say that Proud Boys weren't there when they very clearly, as we saw, were. And cried to the mods, I spill my juice, mods, help, 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 help. And the mods responded. So he said that Elon Musk needs to get rid of blocking so he can lie about Alejandra and about Antifa, because people getting blocked, because him being blocked means that he can't lie about other people. And Elon Musk concurred and said that, yes, we need to reduce blocking. Because for one, people did block the Blue to not interact with Twitter Blue subscribers because they're all mostly terrible people. And also they don't want to interact with literal fascists who we brought onto the platform. Very interesting stuff. Blocking public posts makes no sense. It needs to be depreciated for a stronger form of mute, which is a block, just so you know. Which is a block, just so you know. And the clip that everybody kept showing, which was this, which is after the brawl started, right? Which is just people swinging at each other and you have no clue what actually happened. This was actually recorded by somebody who was on the ground there and sorry. This is recorded by somebody who was actually on the ground there. The start, about the start to this fight. And there it begins. And there it begins. And this side with the masked up protesters. Over on that side, you know, the ones that weren't holding the progress flags were the ones who started throwing hands. Very interesting stuff. But hey, listen. They should leave the little kids alone. That's the real issue here. Mr. Mercs, that's the real issue here. Yeah, I bet that's what's going on. Now, we're not done yet. With all that said, now that we have the groundwork of what actually happened that my boy Nick was commenting on, that he very much knows, I believe, and he's okay with, we can get to some of the reactions that happened after this and the rallying behind Nick to save him from canceling and consequences for his actions. Because people like me should never have consequences for my actions. I should be able to say whatever I want, whenever I want, to whoever I want, however I want. And if you disagree with it and don't want to work with me anymore, that means you're in the wrong, because I should be able to not only say whatever I want and do whatever I want, but I also should be, but I'm also entitled to your money for it. Very curious stuff. Call of Duty has now been boycotted by millions of customers, upset that they removed NICKMERCS' skin from the game for tweeting. He just tweeted. All he did was tweet, dude. How can you cancel a guy for sending a tweet? Is that illegal? Are we in communist China? They should leave the little kids alone, in reference to LGBTQ teachers teaching in public schools. What does that even mean? What is LGBTQ teaching? What is LGBTQ teaching? What is that? What does that mean? Gay people exist, and kids should know about that. Like, they should know about straight people as well, because we're teaching them to live in a society with those people in it. Okay, they should know about predators as well. That's why we teach them about the Republican Party. Listen, okay, it's very important. It's very important. Okay, you don't understand. And listen, this is how you know that Nick was on the right side, because Kick and Rumble came out to support them. Ah, yes, the arbiters of moral moral consideration, the moral arbiters of our space. Kick, the porn site that lets children on. Yes, Kick, incredible stuff going on, I must say. And Rumble as well came out, so you know that Nick is in the right here, 100%. And this guy as well, you may know him, you may not, Dr. Disrespect. Now, I never watched Dr. Disrespect, but he's well known for being banned from Twitch, and lots of people wondering why he got banned from Twitch. We never did a video on it really, but I think the reason why he got banned from Twitch is for being anti-vax. He said that he's very, very anti-vax, actually, and made a lot of comments on it on stream before he got banned, and that's a big reason for why I think that he got banned. But Doctor came out to show to the world that he's more faithful to NICKMERCS than he is to his own wife, because he cheated on his wife, but he's not gonna cheat on Nick. Listen to this.
Yesterday, it just blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. That Call of Duty, Activision made the decision to pull NICKMERCS' skin and bundle off the game for that. You know, champs, I mean, just imagine. I mean, he's one of us. He's one of us streamers, right? I mean, to get your own skin and bundle and that whole collaboration on the biggest shooter franchise out there and be one of the first to do it in Call of Duty, that's such a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, it is. So I don't know why he had to tarnish it with commenting on something like this. He could have just not spoken. Like they're a business, okay? Like, for a lot of conservatives at the end of the day think canceling is when you have consequences for the things that you say. They don't believe in free speech. They believe in forced speech, okay? What they believe in is that they should speak, and not only are you forced to listen to them, you are forced to agree with them, you're forced to pay them money for speaking as well. So if you're a company and you don't want to speak to someone, you don't want to have somebody speak to you, and you don't want to interact with them, and you want to cut ties with them, you're not allowed to do that, or else you're canceling them. You have to keep paying them money. You have to keep getting them views. You have to be giving them a platform and a voice on your platform, forced, by the way, while they're not forced to do the same, or else you're canceling them. He's not canceled. They just don't want to work with him. He's a brand liability, obviously. Nobody, like any sane anybody who's older than the age of 15 or mentally older than the age of 15 will understand why no company wants to work with no company besides the one as tarnished as Kick and Stake.com want to work with Aiden Ross. Of course. Are you stupid? Of course nobody wants to work with him. And anyways, Doc goes on to say that he's going to be sticking it to Call of Duty and sticking it to Activision by uninstalling Warzone. Or my bad, MW2 and Warzone, I think.
What we got to do
Uninstall.
is uninstall the game. Number one. I mean, don't get a mistaken. This year's Call of Duty is the worst in its franchise.
Yeah, buddy.
But that decision by COD's PR marketing team, I'll tell you right now, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to digest.
Yeah, I bet, buddy. I bet it. How brave! I've given them $70 and the freest marketing in the entire world by continuing to play hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of the game. Even though I complain about it every single day, but I can't stop playing it because I don't know how to actually have fun. And I'm addicted to this, and I know that my audience only really cares to show up anytime I play this game, so I keep playing it to keep raking in more money. But this will show them. I'll have you know, Doc has uninstalled Modern Warfare 2 about 9 times already. I'm not joking or exaggerating. This is the 9th. I believe this is the 9th time he's uninstalled it. The 9th time he's uninstalled the game. Now, chat, do you think that this is going to be the last time he uninstalls the game? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think so. I think that boy is going to be re-downloading COD very shortly, all right? I don't believe that this is going to be some big problem, all right? I know Activision must be quaking in their boots that Dr. Disrespect has uninstalled their application again after handing them $70 plus money that he paid for in other skins that he had. 4 days tops. I mean, as it goes, just a lifeless loser. That is true. He doesn't need, I mean, I think what you mean to say is wifeless loser, because he definitely doesn't have one of those anymore. He cheated on them, remember? But I mean, like, my personal thing is just, I just don't think that, like, this Dr. Disrespect guy is really the, you know, the guy that they should be going to for who's super moral. You know, he is banned from a lot of places, and he doesn't necessarily seem to be the guy who I would think is the most sensitive to these types of topics, who you know, has the most level head.
How the hell do I say your name? It sounds like I'm starting up a motorcycle. A Chinese motorcycle. Have you ever heard of a Chinese motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen? No.
Anyways, we're not going to be playing any more of that. Thank you. Very cool. Tim Pool came out to say, if a dude says leave kids alone and you fire him, he wasn't hired. I think it's reasonable to say COD is run by pedophiles. No, it's not. It's not. None of those things follow at all. I'm sorry that none of us think that, like, Proud Boy, far right fascists should be deciding public policy. I'm sorry that if that makes me, what I personally think. Okay, here's my thing. I think people like Tim Pool are trying to degrade what the word pedophile and groomer means, so they don't have to blink twice anytime somebody who they really like is very credibly accused of, like, assaulting a minor. Okay, that's just what I think. I think that he knows that he has friends with people who would happily assault a minor if they would get away with it, and so his cope with that is to make groomer and PDF mean almost nothing. So now groomer means when you raise children in when you, like, tell children that gay people exist, that's grooming. And pedophilia is when you tell children gay people exist, but, like, in school. And so now he doesn't, and so when the bar for, like, PDF and grooming is that low, now they can easily step over it and start, like, genuinely assaulting and grooming children without being able to, like, brush aside comments like that because they've diluted the term so much that now it doesn't mean anything. That's what I personally think. Or he wants to assault children himself. It's one of the two. Not sure which one yet, in my personal opinion. Now, the thing, though, the one that makes me really sad is Tim, because Tim the Tap Man is somebody that I actually used to watch a little bit of, not a whole lot, but a little bit of, actually, and I haven't in a long time, but I always thought that he was an okay person. Keep in mind, this is somebody who used to work as a social worker, okay, and he came out, he knows Nick, And he knows that his audience has a lot of crossover with Nick, and he knows that they're like happily shit on minorities if given the chance. They're like capital G, capital P gamers, pro gamers. So obviously, he can't come out to do that. So he wanted to try to pretend to have a little bit of a spine, a little bit, but you can see his spine literally like quaking under the weight of him trying to hold it together because he never really had one to begin with. So watch this.
A lot of you saw what happened with Nick yesterday. So I'm gonna just say this at the front, man. I love Nick. I talked to him for about 30 minutes last night. I know him, bro. And I truly do not think he meant to hurt anyone.
I don't care.
With what he said.
I really don't care. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you do, like, this wouldn't hold up in any way or shape or form. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. Well, you did. Okay? I didn't mean to hit your car. You did. I don't really care. I don't think your insurance is going to care whether or not you meant to run into someone's car. You did at the end of the day, and you should just say sorry. And you shouldn't have just done it in the first place, and then just move on.
It really, all I can say is this, man. Tabman Army, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right.
Just so you know, it has been 37 seconds and he has said literally nothing.
We talked for a while last night and he's doing all right. But that's all I can really say on it, man. That's all I'm really going to say on it.
He said nothing. Thank you, Tim, for showing that you have a spine. Very cool. I'm glad to see that your chiropractor is doing well. Bro, man said literally nothing. Yeah, it's crazy. He is not cooking. He didn't even turn the eye on yet. The oven is still cold. Spineless, completely spineless. It really is. It genuinely is embarrassing. If he was going to say this little, then honestly, it would have made more sense for him simply just not to speak at all. Like, if you're just going to say nothing, why speak? Genuinely, why? Why? He didn't say anything. I know he's doing well. He's a multimillionaire who has 2 million followers on Twitter and like 1 million followers and 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I think, or more than that. I know he's fine. I don't really care. I care about the people who are on the street fighting for their children not to be abused in school. The people who got punched in the head for thinking that their gay child shouldn't be like bullied and made into a political football by the worst people on planet Earth. That's what I worry about. Those are the people I care about. Not Nick, not this multimillionaire freak who says whatever he wants and gets away with it. And his only repercussion is to have like 1% of his income affected by having a skin of him taken away in a video game. When the other people whose lives are being affected, those families of those children are getting sent death threats. And are having to move because of hatred thrown their way. They're having to escape states that make it illegal for them to raise their child in the way that they want. Those are the people I care about, Tim. Mr. Social Worker Tim. All right. And even after, okay, all of this, where he thought that it was going to be it, no, he decided to make it clear after he got like pushback for not actually being on Nick's side hard enough. He decided to ask Call of Duty to remove his skin from Call of Duty as well, because he said that his friend didn't have a skin, so he shouldn't have a skin either. So these guys will equally just like stick together like shit just clumped together over like anything else, because what they really care about is money. At the end of the day, what these people care about is money, okay? Status, their money, their stream, the acquaintances they have, the viewers that they have, and nothing comes above that. No values or morals or ideas. The only thing at the top of the ladder is money and cash. And so if that's what it is, he knows he can make more money by getting like pity votes and getting like good boy points from all of these people who come out from like all these anti-LGBT people who are going to start praising him for doing something and standing up for Nick, this like little guy who's a multi-millionaire with multi-million subscribers and followers across like multiple platforms, who's richer than all of these people who are like sucking his dick combined will probably ever be in their entire lives, who have more going on for them and is more insulated than any actual issue that Congress could pass on planet Earth ever in the history of time, probably in his entire life. Anyways, you know, really, really curious stuff there. But anyways, Thank you, Tim. Very interesting. I will not be watching Tim again. That's just me though. Ackman also decided to come out and completely dodge the issue entirely. Whether or not you agree with saying that it's not a problem to punch women in the head for thinking that their asexual child shouldn't be bullied at school, I find it incredibly ironic that Activision of all companies is trying to give us lessons on ethics and good morals. I mean, I guess the second part of the tweet is true. I just don't like the idea of like, whether or not you agree that, you know, punching women in the head for, you agree that sidestepping punching women in the head for thinking that her child shouldn't be bullied in school is okay. But, you know, Activision's like kind of sucks though. Ever think about that? Yeah, I think Nick sucks too, actually. I don't particularly care. I agree. Yeah. And I mean, Nick isn't known for being the best guy. I know this is an old tweet, 10-year-old tweet, but he's a grown ass man and he was here as well. All black people getting mad, shut the fuck up, like you give a shit. Just so you know, this is on the Trayvon Martin, Andrew Zimmerman, something Zimmerman? Like the Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman case where Zimmerman got away from murdering a child with a bag of Skittles. And he's like, Zimmerman isn't white. Dude could be my father. This guy who murdered that child could literally be my dad. Oh no. Listen, he's never actually had good opinions on anything. He's also a Ron DeSantis stan, actually. He recently came out to say DeSantis was the GOAT. Now, this is kind of like here nor there. I just think it's telling of his opinion of like queer people, if I'm going to be honest with you. Ron DeSantis, who is passing the most draconian anti-LGBT laws in the entire country, giddily, happily, who's made an entire campaign about reducing the civil rights and liberties of LGBT people and their parents, that he thinks is, in his words, the GOAT. I just don't think that this guy cares that much about all of this stuff. And this is something that he didn't care about either, which is the leave the kids alone rally that they have, which is the watching a mom groom her children into hating gay people by having them like stomp on pride flags and everything, which is genuinely some of the saddest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Thankfully in Canada, they're way better than us, but yeah. My favorite thing is like how conservatives love to hype up like fundamentalist Muslims when it comes to pushing their ideals. Like, oh, I bet the left it doesn't know whether or not to call these guys bigots. No, I do. They are bigots. They're bad people as well, and they are grooming grooming your children into an ideology, the hatred of LGBT people irrationally for your own gain. It's just genuinely sad. That's what I think personally. It's just kind of weird like that. They didn't give a shit about this either. You know, wild stuff. And to kind of like cap this off, a really good point here made by this person. The FaZe nonsense has me exhausted. Dude literally cheered on violence against an LGBT plus rally by insinuating heinous shit about us. And now tens of thousands of people are backing up his fucked up rhetoric and promoting more violence. I hate this shit. Correction, cheering should be justifying. Yes, actually, 100%. He also supports DeSantis. As I said, yes, he does. Listen, okay? Listen, I would like to make one thing clear. Nearing the end of this, all right, before I show you something that's actually incredibly funny, a good note to end this off on. You can see some of the likes and some of the traction that a lot of this anti-LGBT stuff is getting. What you need to understand is that these people live online. If the 2020 election should have showed you anything, it's that numbers at rallies, numbers of likes or views on videos on social media does not equally translate into voters. All right? They don't. If that was the case, Donald Trump would be the God King Emperor of the like honestly, if that was the case, Donald Trump would be the God King Emperor of the planet. All right? Joe Biden does not get as many views or pull as many views as Donald Trump. Doesn't and never will. Does that mean that Donald Trump won the election? No, obviously not. And Donald Trump will always come out to say, I got the most votes of any sitting president ever. He'll end it there, but we all know it's ever, which is true, except for Joe Biden, who got more. But he doesn't like to talk about that because he lost. These people I'm not sure if this is a coined term, but it's something that I thought about, and so I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to say I coined it because I haven't seen anybody else say it before. These people are professionals in one thing, okay? And it's called, and I'm going to be calling it shadow puppet politics, all right? It is shadow puppet politics. That is all these people are, all right? All of these guys do is spend time making shadow puppets into making you believe that they're bigger, stronger, more powerful, more numerous, and more influential than they actually are. The reason why they're having even, I can recognize these names of these fascists and Proud Boys who are going around the country is because there's so little of them. If there weren't so few of them, they wouldn't need to have all of these people going to every single meeting and every single issue and having them be professional protesters and professional assaulters and professional criminals in gangs, because they wouldn't have to. You just wouldn't have to. You just wouldn't have to. They need to so they can try to boost up their numbers and give you shadow puppets into believing that they're way more numerous than they actually are, when the silent majority always has and always will be a loud minority. That's it. That's all they ever are and will be. Donald Trump supporters make up less than 30% of the country. All right. Those hardcore Donald Trump supporters make up less than 30% of the country. And they're going to about 25%, if I'm going to be, last I checked. And it's less than that now, since he's lost support amongst even Republicans. All right. They will never be that big. But they need you to think they're that big, so you get scared. So you think that all of these people are against you, and the progressives are like losing traction. Okay, they are gaming our republic system and gerrymandering, so they can use the small voters they have to get a disproportionate amount of legislators in legislatures. To pass laws that only a vast minority of the population support. There is not a single poll that supports Republican policies, even on some of the most extreme trans issues. Like a lot of like weirdo centrist libs and a lot of righties are going to say that the left has completely lost the plot on trans issues. I mean, maybe online, because Republicans are completely backed by big money, dark money groups that are pushing these things and boosting up and astroturfing these people to get views and move into these cycles. But at the end of the day, all of these anti-trans things are only inside of the right-wing echo chamber. If you type in the word trans, you're going to have a conservative pop up way more than you're going to have like a lefty liberal socialist pop up. Okay. The reason is because these people talk about these things way more than we do. Way more. I don't talk about trans people that often, really. Unprompted. Definitely, like never unprompted. I really don't care about trans people or gay people that much. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really give a shit about them. I only talk about them insofar as somebody comes out to say that these people should be like hung or killed or like have their rights taken away. That's the only time I speak about them. These people talk about them like constantly. There's a guy, I can't even show you his tweets, but during the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light stuff, he kept calling Bud Light T slur semen. Okay, T slur like the slur for trans people. The semen. Like he made a massive tweet thread where he just like it was like remember like that scene in The Shining where he kept typing the same the sentence over and over and over and over and over again on his typewriter. It was just basically like him just typing out trans semen over and over. I promise you can look this up. It's crazy. These people are sick. They're out of their minds. And they're not even getting traction in the group of people who they think that they're getting traction in, which in the end of the day is even the COD community. They're not even getting traction there. Let me show you something, okay? And maybe this is different on other platforms, but let me tell you here that remember when they said that they're going to be doing a COD boycott that's going to completely hamper the player base and the money of Activision? To prove them wrong and that they can't be pedos for thinking that gay people shouldn't be killed in the street. These are the Steam charts for Modern Warfare 2 Warzone 2.0, the game that these people are uninstalling. All right, here's the player stats. Now this starts from the 28th to today. All right, and as you can see, there are 78,000 viewers, and it goes players, and it jumps around from about 70,000 to 30,000, and it stays pretty consistent. All of this stuff started happening on the 6th of January. The 6th of June. And as you can see here, nothing changed. As you can see here, they all kept logging on. Do you see a really big like dip in like players here? Maybe this one where it dropped down to 38,000, but that was pretty similar to like back here but that's even more than the drop here, which was 37,000 actually. They're getting the same amount of players that they normally get. Every single day, these people keep logging on and keep playing COD. It's the same amount of players that they normally get, around 60 to 80,000. Around 60 to 80,000. As you can see here, they typically hover around this. Sometimes they have lower months where it's like around 40,000 to low 60, and sometimes it's high 60s. And sometimes it's like 50s to high 60s to 80s, okay? But this is the amount of people, this is how many people are playing. Like every single month, COD keeps losing a portion of viewers. Sorry, I keep saying viewers. Every single month, COD keeps losing a portion of their players, which is reasonable. Because like any online game is going to have decay over time, right? But even this month in the last 30 days, still the same peak of 102,040 players. Concurrent as normally the last 48 hours, same diff, nothing changed, no big dips. It's the same sort of thing that's happening all the time. On weekends they have a lot of people playing. They didn't even care to do their own boycott. So just to let you know, when you see all of these people coming out, and when you see these multi like tens of thousands, multi 100,000 like tweets of people saying the most vile stuff that would get them absolutely yeeted into the sun on any other platform on Twitter, because Elon Musk not only thinks that it's okay, but he's kicking his feet up and laughing and giggling and agreeing with a lot of it. At the end of the day, a gamer is a gamer, and they genuinely just don't give a shit about it. Just like your average human being. All of this stuff is in their mind and on Twitter. All of these people who are saying that they're going to be uninstalling COD and liking these things about uninstalling COD never bought COD. And the ones that they did are going to be reinstalling that game as soon as possible. They're going to be doing that lickety split. I'll tell you this now. I'll give you to the end of the month. I promise you, Tim and Dr. Disrespect and all these people are going to be back on their COD grind as soon as possible. They don't care. What they care about is money. They'll get the cash that they got from coming out against all this stuff, and then they're going to be back. All right, then they're going to be back. As they always are, as they always will. They'll play a little bit of they'll play a little bit of Apex Legends. Maybe they'll play maybe some Payday 2 since Payday 3 is coming out soon. They'll play some other single player games, but they're always going to be back because the only thing that they know in gaming is me pickup gun, me pickup gun, me shoot gun, me slide. That's it. Me gray brown shooter, I can't have anything else. They love their gray brown shooter, and some of them are going to Apex Legends, which is very funny because even Apex Legends is even more pro LGBT than Activision is. Okay, I'm not sure if you know this, but like I'm pretty sure there are more gay, homosexual, queer characters in Apex Legends than the next like shooters combined, outside of maybe Overwatch. But I'm not sure if the monkey in Overwatch is gay too. He might be. I'm not sure. I know a lot of white women would be very upset if he was. I like your dog. She's a white woman. He's gay. Anyways, with that being said, don't believe these people. Don't trust these people. They're losers. They're not real. They only exist online, and in a small portion online too, mostly Facebook and a couple of wet, dingy places on YouTube. Okay? Chill out. Enjoy your pride. And I'll have to say, my verdict for this cancel the cringe is cringe. Thanks for watching. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.